All right, we're back with the third period here. We're going to have Regner, Weiss, Benear, Ketchum, and Maddox to start the period. Regner wins the draw back to Ketchum, looks up, finds Benear. Benear gets in his dump after taking a hit to the head. Battle along the boards. White Bear comes out with it. Stick there for Ketchum to break it up momentarily. White Bear's offside. Regner to take the draw. Regner wins that one clean back to Maddox. Maddox finds Ketchum. Looking for a Regner streaking through the center, just goes ahead of him. That's going to go down for a Stillwater icing. Regner to take his own defensive zone face off here. White Bear comes up with that. Benear gives him pressure, and Zemer takes it behind his own net, stops up, looks for Benear. Benear takes it along the sidewall, chips it over to Regner. Regner coming down into the zone, leaves it for Benear. Benear gets a quick shot on net, and that was blocked down by White Bear. Zemer spins around, finds Regner. Regner chips it up to Benear. Benear finds Weiss, and White Bear takes that away. Going to be a 3-on-3 here. Nice defensive play by Purcell to get his skates on that puck. Purcell finds Smith. Smith makes a move around one, and it's going to be 2-on-1 here. Smith tries to go between the skates of the defenseman, and he kicks that away. Weiss on the back check. White Bear around him. Takes a shot on net. That's blocked away by Talcott. Purcell. Puck's a little sticky. Ice is still a little wet. White Bear comes up with that. Smith tries to poke it out of the zone. White Bear keeps it in. Centered across. Oh! Nets off its moorings. Nice save by Talcott to go post to post there and get a pad on it. Good chance by White Bear. Smith to take the defensive zone face-off. Wins that one back. Doherty has it for a second. And Talcott's going to freeze it along the post. They'll reset. Two to two here in the third period with 13:12 left. Smith wins the draw. Galloway pokes it around the defender, and he's on a break. It's a foot race. It's a 3-on-1. Passes over to Ogoya, and it's in his skates. The pass just handcuffed him a little bit. Wasn't able to get a shot off. White Bear throws it in deep. Melhorn back there. White Bear looks up, finds the defenseman, fires it on net. That goes off the stick and into the corner. Smith rolls it around to Galloway. Galloway up to Doherty. Agoy with Smith. 2-on-1 here. Shot. Oh, just wide. Blocker side. Nice play by Galloway to step in there and get that puck. Agoy goes down. They're still on it. Poked out the center. White Bear tries to toe drag around him. Doesn't get through. Tied up in the corner there. Ketchum makes a nice play to get around the defenseman, and there's Doherty. Doherty, 1-on-2. Drives to the net, has a chance, tries to chip it in short side, and White Bear saves it. White Bear wins the face-off. Pressured by Beaver. Doherty comes up with it. Tries to go around his man. White Bear tries to rim it around. doesn't go. Doherty ends up with it, chips it over to Beaver. Beaver behind the net, tries to center it off a White Bear skate. Beaver gets to the puck first, out to the point, fires it on net. White Bear gets the shin pads on it. Chip back deep into Doherty. Board battle. And Beaver comes in and just takes over everybody. Doherty takes a cross check to the face. Pearson tries to bat it in deep, and it's going to be a one-on-one here. Nice play by...
Oh! Nice save.
Nice play by Zemer to break up that initial rush. Zemer up the ice. White Bear chips it back. And here comes White Bear. That's going to be a tripping on White Bear as Pearson draws the call. Regner. White Bear touches up. It's going to be a 2-minute slashing. Stillwater to the power play. Regner to take the face-off. Regner wins it over to Benier. Benier back to Smith. Smith brings it into center ice. Looks back to Benier. Benier takes it. Fans back, and White Bear might have a break, and that's going to be a slash off Benier. And we're going to play 4-on-4 here for 1:43.
I wonder if they're talking about the wager.
Regner wins that clearing. Back to... And White Bear ends up with it. White Bear leaves it at the point, gets a shot on net, blocked by number 7, Zemer. And it's going to be a foot race between Smith and the White Bear defenseman. White Bear gets it, chips it up the center. Toe drag, shot, saved by Talcott. It's going to be 4-on-4 hockey here for the next 1:10. And then White Bear for a 18-second power play after that. Smith to take the defensive zone face-off. And Smith wins that back to Doherty. Doherty wheels behind his own net. Loses an edge. Up to Pearson. Pearson. Up to Smith. Smith curls. Tries to split 2 defenders. Loses it. Doherty loses an edge. It's going to be 2-on-2 here. Nice stick by Melhorn there to break up that rush. Puck loose in front of the net. Melhorn comes up with it. Looks for Smith. Smith takes it wide. Thinks about a pass, and that one's going to be offside. Regner to take the neutral zone face-off. Plays it forward in the White Bear's zone. Beaver gives it the pressure. White Bear clears it to the far side boards, where number 10 White Bear takes it into the zone. Tries to shoot, goes off a leg. Maddox plays his man, and they both go down. White Bear finds the defenseman up high in the slot, and they score. 3-2 White Bear. on 4 here for a moment. Galloway tries to jump the face off. White Bear throws it in deep off the Talcott. Seamer up the boards. And White Bear is going to have a short power play here for the next 10 seconds. White Bear into the zone. And Talcott's going to freeze it. Back to 5 on 5. Smith takes the draw. White Bear comes up with it. Doherty finds it. Takes it behind his net. White Bear curls along the boards. Goes in the ref's feet. Up to Galloway. And here comes the boy. He's got a step. Tries to shoot.
Oh!
Trickles along the goal line and somehow stays out. Goy goes deep, protects the puck, comes to the center, loses an edge. Smith down low, tries the center, out to the point, shoots it off a stick, flutters in the air, down behind the net. Galloway chips it in deep, sends it back up to the board, and that's kept in. Battle along the boards here. Smith finds Doherty. Doherty can't quite get to it. And White Bear sends it deep. Talcott paddles it aside. Beaver along the edge. Tries to trip it up to Doherty. White Bear steps in and takes that. White Bear. Number 5 loses it. Number 21 looking for a player in front. Pearson centers it. White Bear takes it. White Bear dumps it in deep. Maddox is going to come up with it. Rim it back around. Pearson. Goes off Talcott, and he freezes it. (3-2) White Bear with 6:20 left in the third. Doherty to take the draw. Doherty wins it back to Ketchum. Ketchum rims it around to Beaver. Beaver up to Doherty. Doherty gets that puck slapped off his stick. White Bear through the zone. Beaver steps up, tries to poke it away. Maddox misses his check, tries to toe drag around Doherty, but doesn't get through. Doherty breaking out, chips it up the wall. White Bear kicks it back to Doherty. Doherty at the blue line, works it over to Maddox. Shot on net. White Bear freezes. I apologize, that was a shot on net by Beaver. Stillwater wins the face-off. Purcell tries to shoot it on net and goes off a White Bear leg. Regner pinned up against the wall. White Bear comes out, finds a man, up through center. Purcell along the boards, battle with him. White Bear trickles right out in front. White Bear scores. (4-2) White Bear. 5:26 left in the third. Stillwater wins the face-off, back to Doherty. Doherty loses the puck to White Bear. Regner gets the puck. White Bear ends up with it. Weiss. White Bear at the point. Throws it on net and goes wide. Around to the other point. Shot on net. Trickles through Talcott and back to the backboards. Shot from the slot, saved by Talcott. Regner clears the puck down the ice. That's going to be icing on Stillwater. .449 left in the third. White Bear wins the draw. Sends it in deep. Pokes around. Gets through one White Bear defender. Not through the other. Here comes Galloway. Galloway in the goal. Galloway, nice move to the center. Gets it on net. Saved by White Bear. White Bear wins the draw. Around the net, makes a move around Agoy. White Bear. Circles around the center. Finds a guy on the far side boards. Curls and shoots off a pad of Talcott. Smith gets the puck. Stops up. Chips it up to Agoy. White Bear sends it over to the far boards. Shot on net, saved by Talcott. White Bear wins the draw. Steps around to check. Gets it in the slot. Defenseman pinches. Zemer ends up with it. Tries to get it over to Pearson. Doherty there. Pearson digging for it. White Bear decides to keep it. Takes it up through center. Looking for an option. Finds a man in the slot. Goes to the backhand. Talcott makes the save. Doherty loses the puck. Back to Zemer. Zemer gets his pass broken up. Still ends up with it. It's going to be a 3-on-2 for Stillwater here. Zemer tries to make a move around one defender. Goes back. Tries to keep it in. And Beaver ends up with it. Beaver through the blue line. Rolls off his stick. White Bear at center, dumps it in. Doherty back to get it. Battles with his man along the board. Tied up. Regner chips it out to Beaver. Beaver tries to throw it up the wall. Ends up back in our zone. White Bear to the point. Center, shot. Deflected off of Doherty. Going to be a 2-minute minor on White Bear for high sticking. Stillwater to the power play, and they need one here. 2:20 left in the third, down 2. Regner set to take the draw. Stillwater goes with the empty net. 6-on-4 here. Smith at center. Takes it in the zone, looks over his options, centers it. Benier finds it at the point. He's going to shoot off White Bear. Back to Ketchum. Over to Benier. Benier makes a nice move around his defender. Drives wide, cuts to the middle, shoots off the post. two White Bear guys on R1. It's a battle along the boards, trying to break it free. White Bear stalling for time. Smith at the point. Benier fires just wide. Stillwater keeps it in, finds Regner deep. Zemer in there working, Regner in there working. Zemer breaks free with it. Zemer looking over his options, finds Benier. Benier just can't keep it in, just out. Cuts up. Stillwater just gets onside. Benier comes in, shoots. And he kicks it out to the point. Smith at the point. Smith cuts it into the center, takes it in deep, backhands it on net, almost puts that one in. White Bear clears it down the ice, and Smith's gonna gather it up. Smith coming up the ice with some speed into the zone, cuts wide, goes around the net, tries to tuck it in. Benier there. Benier over to Regner. 30 seconds left. Benier and Maddox working on it. Regner there. Rolls off his stick. In his skates. Regner diving play at the blue line to keep it in, and that was going to be one ref calling offside and the other one saying it was on. 14 seconds left. Right there wins that. And that's going to do it. White Bear is going to win 4-2.
That'll do it for the Spirit of Duluth tournament. See you guys Monday.